Yeah.
But how, talking about your personal involvement in motorsport, how you're a very successful architect based in Hong Kong. How did you get started in motorsport, and how did you find, or how did you found Craft Bamboo Racing Team?
All right. I was just a normal little boy and, loved cars. And um, I started getting into, my first taste of motorsport was when I was going to junior high school. I believe I was grade 7 or I was grade 8 or something like that. My neighbor's father had built a go kart from his garage, and we lived on a cul-de-sac, so it was a dead end. And every now and then, he would bring out the go kart with his kid, my neighbor, and we would just put the little ice cream cones and and do our own little track. Um, and that's when I sort of fell in love with driving. Um, and After a couple of years doing that, the father, again my neighbor, would take us on to go kart races, like the local ones, uh, and we would do race weekends and stuff like that. And that's when I fell in love with the sport. So, like most people, I started out with karting. Um, but as far as the team is concerned, but then I have to go to college, and then started with my career. So that all stopped for a while. But I still attended track days and watched some races here and there. But it wasn't until I was close to 20 years ago, when the career is more settled and I'm more settled and have the financial means. And that's when I started picking up racing again.
Right.
Started out with track days, of course. I remember it was Paul Yao's event, Supercar Club, and we all went to Sapan. And a friend of mine and I, we invested together in a Ferrari 360, a track car. And so we took that car out for a few days, and I remember coming back on a plane. I ordered the 430, the challenge car.
Right.
And back in those days, there weren't any GT3s yet. The GT3s would come a couple of years later. So we would get these challenge cars, which is already, met certain safety standards with a roll cage, and this is for racing. And we will modify them ourselves, with a local garage or some garage in Europe, some out in Europe. And we order the car, and then it will come back race ready. And that's when I started racing. Now, so I did that for a few years, fell in love with the sport. And I remember started doing more and more races outside of Asia. I remember it was one year when I went to Dubai and did the 24-hour race and ended up on the podium. And it was that moment when I said, "Oh, why can't an Asia team compete in the international uh, motorsport? Why can't we participate?" It was then when I started building up that team. And so from that point forward, it's just building and building and building and building. I remember it. The One of the milestones was that we became a technical partner for Aston Martin Racing, and that's when we first got factory support. We did a lot of races with the factory, with factory drivers like Darren Turner, Stefan Moka, who was my teammate back then, Stefan, in GT Asia. And it was from that point forward we started taking off as a team. And then we switched to Porsche. We were with Porsche for 3 years as a factory technical partner, and now with Mercedes since after that, and AMG. So that was in a nutshell our path.
Yeah. Hello, motorsport fans. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and like this video so we can keep the channel going.